Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. It is Sunday, January the 28th, 2024. Hope you're all having a nice weekend, getting ready to start. Hopefully, will be a productive work week. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for tuning in. I know everyone's time is challenged and limited, and you have lots of choices, obviously, on YouTube and other social media platforms. So, appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos, hit the thumbs up, and also the bell notification so we can keep the algos awake. We need to spread the word on these topics and these issues. Very, very important. Please tell everybody that you can, that's willing to listen. Share the videos with family and friends. And with that being said, let's get into what I see developing on this Sunday. You know, it is a crazy time to be alive. There just seems to be so many things unfolding, layers upon layers. Not only domestically with our economy and with everything collapsing. We'll get to an important article today about continued layoffs here in 2024. But we have so many international events unfolding concurrently. And of course, now we have this border crisis, which has existed for a while, but it's starting to come to a boiling point down in Texas. I discussed this on yesterday's show with Governor Abbott in Texas, installing the razor wire, and Eagles Pass is becoming kind of a hot spot with this let's say disagreement. Well, that's not the wrong word. We have a real problem between the federal government taking one position, basically trying to leave the borders open, and the state of Texas saying no more, we're done. We cannot handle these people coming through. We have criminals coming through. We have unknown people of unknown backgrounds coming through. And a lot of times we do know the backgrounds. We know that they spent time in prison. They're wanted for all kinds of really heinous crimes, and they're walking over the border into the good old US of A. So I did a little reading a few minutes ago on this convoy, which has been organized, and it's called Take Our Border Back Convoy. That supposedly is supposed to be kicking off tomorrow. I read that on Vice yesterday, or an article from Vice posted yesterday, says that this convoy is supposedly leaving from Virginia Beach tomorrow. It's going to make its way up through Jacksonville, Florida, and then it's going to split evidently into three separate groups. And one group's going to go up to Eagles Pass in Texas. Another group's going to go to Yuma, Arizona. And another group is going to go to San Ysidro, California, all border areas. And then they're supposed to be holding rallies, and obviously the concept behind it is supposed to be peaceful. A lot of people on other media outlets are suggesting that obviously it's an opportunity for people to infiltrate that and something bad to happen. Let's pray for everybody's safety, obviously, and everything stays peaceful. But it is a real issue that needs to be addressed in this country. It is overwhelming our country. Overwhelming our public services, overwhelming our hospitals, and United States citizens are suffering, and we're paying the consequence. Not to mention the increased crime wave that's coming across this country because of this. I was disturbed to read an article earlier on Zero Hedge, something about Biden coming out and saying that that he'd be happy to shut down the border if it was a quid pro quo for a bill from Congress to fund further efforts in Ukraine and other endeavors in Israel. So again, not going to get into the weeds on that, but that quid pro quo is pretty astonishing. That they know they can do it all along, they just don't want to. So I'll leave it there with the border. Let's see how the convoy develops, and this ongoing, let's say, very tense situation as it unfolds this week. But everyone that should be the top of I think your reading list. I'll keep you guys posted. Next thing happened today. Another unfortunate story that there was an attack, according to sources, that were Iranian-backed groups that attacked a U.S. outpost location at the Jordanian border. And unfortunately, 3 United States soldiers were killed in the incident. and at least I think 20 or 25, maybe it's even over 30 now, are seriously injured. So there's immediate calls today by Congress that the administration has to take immediate and swift and strong action back against. They're calling Iran out directly. So look, now we are on a potentially a direct collision course with Iran. It's been simmering the last few weeks with this issue with the shipping lanes and the Houthis attacking the shipping containers and the oil cargo ships going through the Red Sea because there's been obviously allegations that they're Iranian-backed groups. But now we have what may be more of a direct involvement. Again, just reading the same news sources all of you can read, not making any conclusions. But it doesn't mean that it will not form the basis, if that's the belief, if that's the intel, that it will form the basis for the United States to formulate a direct attack. I think I saw Biden earlier saying that the U.S. will be responding. So we have a lot of stuff going on internationally. We have things happening right at our border with Mexico. And of course, we have our domestic economy, which is basically in a shambles, despite what the mainstream media will tell you. I will share just basically one article with you today I saw. It's from NPR, came out this morning. And it talks about the ongoing layoffs that are happening. Really, it's focused on the tech sector, but please listen to what I'm going to share with you, because there's nothing to say that this won't broaden out beyond the tech sector. And there seems to be maybe a cultural change with these larger companies. And what they're doing is they're copycatting their colleagues, or let's say their competitors, in these further rounds of layoffs. And it's happening in the tech sector right now heavily, not confined to tech, but it's been heavy in tech. But if it bleeds out into the broader corporate, like say, mindset and culture as it relates to only focusing on maximizing shareholder value and not being worried about cutting heads. I say cutting heads, meaning, bringing down headcount, firing people. So here's what the article says, and it's entitled, nearly 25,000 tech workers were laid off in the first weeks of 2024. And it says, why is that? It says, last year was by all accounts a bloodbath for the tech industry, with more than 260,000 jobs vanishing. The worst 12 months for Silicon Valley since the dot-com crash in the early 2000s. It says executives justified the mass layoffs by citing a pandemic hiring binge, high inflation, and weak consumer demand. So that's what they were saying was the catalyst for these layoffs. It says now in 2024, tech company workforces have largely returned to pre-pandemic levels. Inflation is half what it was then and this time last year, and consumer confidence is rebounding. I question that, but that's what the article says. Yet, in the first 4 weeks of this year, nearly 100 tech companies, including Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, TikTok, and Salesforce, have collectively let go about 25,000 employees, according to Layoffs.fyi, which tracks the technology sector. It says all of the major tech companies conducting another wave of layoffs this year are sitting atop mountains of cash and are widely profitable. So the job shedding is far from a matter of necessity or survival. And so now we get to the point that I want to try to convey here. It says, what is driving it? There is a herding effect in tech, said Jeff Schulman, professor at the University of Washington's Foster School of Business. It says the layoffs seem to be helping their stock prices. So these companies see no reason to stop. Experts say for most large and publicly traded tech firms, the layoff trend this month is aiming at satisfying investors. We've discussed this before. You see a company's stock usually rally the day they announce substantial layoffs. And the goal behind that is, the investors think, well, they're going to be running leaner and meaner. They're going to have better cash flow. They're going to have more reserves. And so that's good for stock price. It says, quote, they're getting away with it because everybody is doing it. And they're getting away with it because now it's the new normal, this guy says. Workers are more comfortable with it. Stock investors are appreciating it. And so I think we'll see it continue for some time. And some tech companies are reshuffling staff to prioritize new investments in generative AI. But experts say, this is important, those factors do not sufficiently explain this month's layoff frenzy, January 2024. This is whatever is fueling the workforce downsizing in tech. Wall Street has taken notice. The S&P 500 has notched multiple all-time records this month, led by the so-called Magnificent Seven tech stocks. Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft all set new records, with Microsoft's worth now exceeding $3 trillion, it says. And Wall Street rallies, says, and as Wall Street rallies on news of laid off tech employees, more and more tech companies axe or terminate workers. It says you're seeing that these tech companies are almost being rewarded by Wall Street for their cost discipline. And that might be encouraging those companies and other companies in tech to cut costs and lay off staff. It concludes by saying they panicked and did the big layoffs last year and the market reacted favorably. And now that they continue to cut to weather a storm that hasn't even yet fully come. So the point is this. This article is suggesting that the layoffs continue to accelerate, notwithstanding last year's huge layoffs, because the companies are seeing their stock values rise by doing that. So why think about this. What would prevent this culture shift from spilling over into other areas, not just limited to the technology sector? It very well may happen that way. It definitely could. So we come back to one of the major themes of this channel. And it is about having your own and running your own business, being your own boss. I think one of the first videos I did, 4 months ago was be your own boss. I've been my own boss for basically 30 years now. Does it come with additional challenges? Sure. Does it come with more sleepless nights, over the years? Absolutely. It's a different level of stress, but at the end of the day, if you're able to generate from whatever your product is, my product is, I practice law, so I render legal advice and I'm paid for it. But whatever you're selling, if you're doing, teaching of some sort, or selling products of some sort, services of some sort, whatever it is, running a restaurant, if you're able to control the mechanism by which you receive your livelihood to support your family, there's nothing more free than that feeling. And so I would encourage all of you, especially if you guys work for these medium-sized and larger-sized corporations. Is this going to develop into something much broader this year, maybe even continuing beyond that? It might, because investors, and stock values are of paramount importance to corporations, and they're going to watch what's happening in the tech industry, and very well this could spill over and bleed over into other industries as well. So please consider marshaling your skills and your talent and your ideas about what you can do, whether it's your primary 9-to-5. I'm not saying, quit your job and jump into something with both feet, but maybe start something on the side. Do it smart. Don't go into debt to start the business. Cash flow in and give it some thought. Some of the most successful businesses, profitable businesses have been started during down times. So give it some thought. Some business ideas and concepts take very, very little money to start. So whatever it might be, you guys have unlimited talents across the spectrum and bases of knowledge. So this might be the time, given what we're seeing here with these layoffs, it might be the time to really think about it. And if nothing else, maybe put in another layer of revenue stream for you and your family if the unforeseen thing should happen and you get your walking papers. So it's a message of encouragement. hopefully motivation. With that being said, I did get my workout this morning in, Sunday morning, full body workout. Do about 30 minutes, well, 25 minutes of cardio, 20 or 25 minutes of weights, weight training, and then TRX, which is all different kinds of compound moves. So I've been asked to break that down in more detail by some of the comments, and I'll do that if there's some interest on how and what my workouts consist of. But just do something. Get your steps in. Just move. Don't be stagnant. Please watch the diet. The diet is really important. More important, actually, as I say every day now on the show, it's more important than the exercise. It doesn't take the place of doing some cardio and moving for circulation. But in terms of controlling your calories, you're going to need to do that if you're trying to make some progress in losing weight and leaning out. So with that being said, tomorrow's Monday, busy week this week, prepping for some arbitrations, some depositions, be in the office all week, but I plan to stay on top of all the things we've discussed today with the border and with all the conflicts and with the economy. And I will most likely, I imagine I will get a video up tomorrow. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.